guys, this is the ASMR Nerd, and today we are returning to Star Wars Battlefront for a little wander on the planet of Sullust. We are situated just outside of an absolutely massive Imperial hangar bay, which we will go check out in a moment. But the planet of Sullust itself is an interesting place. It is a volcanic planet with highly unstable tectonics. The surface is barren, covered in volcanic rock and ash. The sky is choked with ash particles and noxious gases. It's not the kind of place you'd want to be outside for too long without some kind of breathing apparatus. And so it's a bit of a mystery as to why the Imperials chose Sullust to set up so many manufacturing facilities like this one. I mean, there's lava just firing up out of the ground out there, for crying out loud. Just spraying all over the place, like active volcanoes erupting mere meters away from their installation. But I don't know if this is water here, if this is like oil or fuel. I'm not sure. Maybe it's acid that would fit this planet. But at any rate, the Imperials did set up a lot of their manufacturing here, and I think it has to do with the fact that the Suba Corporation had a strong presence on this planet, employing about half of the population of Sullustans, and they are a large manufacturing firm, which, as I understand, won a bunch of contracts with the Empire in exchange for their loyalty. Anyway, we end up with cavernous hangars like this one, in which we can see situated a pair of AT walkers, all-terrain armored transports. And we can see the Imperials are ready to defend this hangar from rebel incursions with blaster cannons set up on tripods. The AT-ATs themselves appear to be here for repairs, or perhaps this is where they're being built, but it looks more like repairs or refitting to me. The AT Walker is an imposing symbol of Imperial rule, and it is as terrifying as it is effective. The name is a little bit misleading, maybe. They call it a transport, but it's really a war machine designed for ground assault, just as much as it is for transporting things. You can see its massive feet here are designed to handle any terrain. And up above the cockpit, covered in heavy weaponry. Each of these transports carries massive firepower in the form of laser cannons, and is capable of holding about 40 troops in its armored belly, along with a few speeder bikes. mistake them for anything else. These ones look to be in pretty decent shape, so maybe it's just minor repairs they're here for. They're not missing any pieces, though. During the Battle of Hoth, the Rebel Alliance was able to use snow speeders and tow cables to bring these big lumbering machines down. Some kind of diagnostic console here, it looks like. Perhaps. Why don't we take a look? What's this over here? I don't even know. It's a strange device. Blinking lights. No idea what that's for. Let's take a wander this way. Check out some of the Imperial facility here, which is built to the exacting standards of Imperial architecture found throughout the galaxy, and as such looks very similar to many other facilities you may have seen. It looks like an Imperial garbage can. I don't think it is, but it looks like one. So we can come out here on the next level. This is a truly massive docking bay with multiple levels of catwalks here that look like they're all designed for access to the AT-ATs. I suspect that in addition to, do we want to head in here? Nah, maybe not. Let's just stay out here on the catwalks. It's a good view. In addition to repairing these massive machines here, I bet you this is also where they load them up with cargo, perhaps where the troops get on board. The level we're on here is about even with the cockpit, so why don't we take a look? The cockpit itself is heavily armored and impervious to blaster fire. It's got two massive guns on each side and another two underneath. And it's got this kind of connecting section here that's actually a bit vulnerable before we reach the body, if you will, of the AT-AT, which is incredibly heavily armored. It has a couple of hatches in it for troops, I imagine, to get in and out, like a ladder there. Of course, not while the AT-AT is underway, because that would be a long drop. And then in the back here, it's my understanding that there are a handful of speeder bikes that are stored, which can be used for reconnaissance and such. This looks like a replacement blaster cannon for the side of the cockpit here. Just kind of hanging out. This one looks a little battle scarred. It's got some blaster marks on the side armor. The AT-ATs themselves were developed from the earlier AT-TEs used during the Clone Wars. This doesn't look very safe. Look, it's a long drop. It's like they forgot about the same thing over here. They forgot the railing. lines, but I imagine that these vehicles don't need to be as tall as they are. Like, their spindly legs are probably a bit of a liability, but I think it's all about the intimidation factor. Giving them that height does give them a tactical advantage too, and I suppose it helps with difficult terrain, but it all comes together into one lumbering, deadly package known as the all-terrain armored transport. And I guess Sullust is as good a place as any to manufacture and repair them. And yet another big laser cannon here. Replacement. Well, I guess that's what there is to see here on Sullust. Like I said, a bit of a volcanic wasteland, but I suppose you don't really need a pretty view or a hospitable landscape for it to be a good place for manufacturing these machines of war, especially when it's as rich with minerals and resources as Sullust is. So I guess it makes sense for the Imperials to have a strong presence here. Well, thank you very much for coming along on this little wander. Kind of a short one today, but I think we've seen what there is to see here. I'm going to be trying to do another one of these at least, maybe more, in the coming weeks, because we are getting very, very close to the release of Star Wars Rogue One, which I'm very excited about, so you can expect more Star Wars in the near future. Thanks again for coming along today, and I look very forward to having you back here next time.